Good evening, Internet, and welcome to Top Shift 102. I apologise for the late arrival of this Top Shift because 3.1 has now been out for a week and a bit, and everybody's gone and done reviews of this particular ship.
Landing coupler disengaged. Follow the greens on your way out.
This is the Krait Mark II. What I would like to think of as the Millennium Falcon substitute for Elite Dangerous. Basically, it's a good stealthy stroke pirate vessel. Have a quick look around the hull. You can see it's basically very nice and spacious. There's a gunner space. There's enough for 3 crew basically. So gunner, fighter pilot, the usual maximum crew you can get. I have found that as far as maneuverability for this ship's concerned, it's got a good boost speed and it's got a good boost sound. But as far as maneuverability is concerned, pitching up and down on this one can be quite cumbersome, which is probably the reason why it has a fighter bay. As far as its hard points are concerned, exactly the same as the Python. 3 medium, 2 large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Krait out and we're going to try a little bit of the new functionality that came in 3.1, which is the rescue missions. Now, these rescue missions are mega ships which have been attacked by thargoids, and using the new scanner functionality, the Frontier have put in a way to rescue crew which have been left on the ship. Now, you could do it the other way, where you can actually scan and heist a megaship, but in this case we're being the good guys. We are going in, we're being like Thunderbirds, international rescue or intergalactic rescue, because you can't say fuel rats because fuel rats have already taken that one, and trying to rescue as many of these pods as possible. There's quite a few of these derelict megaships in the system of Desiet. At this moment in time, at the time of recording, there was a major thargoid attack underway at Desiet, which has been repulsed. The Aegis megaships have now turned up in Desiet, 1 week too late, and the thargoids have decided to move on to another 2 systems. Now, as far as the thargoid attacks are concerned, 3. I was only expecting 1 new thargoid fighter, but apparently there are now 3 extra thargoid fighters or thargoid scouts to deal with. These make things a little bit more difficult. The one which repairs other thargoid scouts and buffs them. There's one which just goes mental at you, and there's one which launches as many of those horrible corrosive missiles as it can, and basically it's a real task trying to work out what the priority is in order to survive the encounter, and it does add an extra level of challenge. So we're approaching the megaship now. In other news, I mean, obviously, I do apologise for the late arrival of this one. I've been a little bit ill, I'm afraid to say. Hopefully my health will improve in the next couple of weeks or so, so I will be able to get back to doing a usual schedule as well as live radio. But for the moment, I'm just managing through. As you can see, there's an awful lot of activity in the system, because obviously it's an engineer's system. We've got Felicity Farseer in here, and there was a lot of concern that although the station was targeted by the Eagle, we were told that the station was targeted by the Eagle Eye network. We did wonder if the system was lost, would that affect the engineer as well? Well, because that would put things a little bit more at risk. Here we go. So as you can see, we've got our megaship, which is now covered in the green mist of a thargoid attack. the corrosive after effects. And this is the same kind of thing that you do with a heist. So first of all, you scan it with a data scanner, which is quite nice. You can see all the other rescue vessels flying about at the moment. That's always nice to see. And then once you've finished scanning, you'll notice on the contacts panel there's a whole load of extra other things that you can look up. Now each one of these mega ships normally has a ship's log, which will tell you how it got into this particular predicament. I think I've actually got this one, but I'll give it another scan, just in case. So you can see all these sub-targets have now appeared on the megaship, and you're now able to individually scan them. And once you've individually scanned them, oh yes, I have already got that one. Yeah, once you've individually scanned them, let's have a look. There you go. They've picked something up, and they're being attacked because they've picked something up. Sometimes the megaships pick up thargoid probes, and if thargoids detect probes or any manner of the technology on board your ship, they do attack. So what I'm doing now is I am now sub-targeting one of the escape hatches. Now, if I wanted to be nasty, what I would do would I would have sub-targeted one of the cargo hatches, and from there I would have broken that over and open and tried to steal the contents. At the moment with that, however, I don't think it pays well enough to risk my ship becoming wanted, if you see what I mean. Because security forces do get called. I have been told, alright, scan. Right, so we scan the target, then we sub-target it. And hopefully, oh, no, come on, pressing the wrong button here. Hatch breaker locked, sub-target the item, launch the limpet drone. And what I've found actually is the Krait is perfect for this kind of thing. It doesn't give you the feel that it is a smuggler stroke piratey vessel. So as you can see, we're just about to check it out. Bang, there you go. Plenty of cargo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to disable the damaged pods, because they don't pay as well. I just want to pull back normal occupied pods. Now the reason that I say that the Krait is perfect for this is because it's got a lot of low-level equipment slots, which you can populate with all these limpet controllers. So the hatch breaker limpets, the collector limpets, the whole thing that will help in quickly extracting cargo from a stricken vessel. Now as you can see, this is an awful lot faster than having to deal with it one-on-one, so to speak, as far as the if I had to cargo scoop these individually, it would take absolutely ages. So at this rate, I'm able to quite quickly go through most of the other cargo hatches and fill up with as many occupied pods as possible. Now if you manage to get more than 10 of them, that's at least 200,000 credits in 200,000 credits in profit, depending on where you drop them off. I advise that you drop them off at stations, because if you drop them off at the Aegis megaships, you don't get as much. So as you can see, it's actually quite easy. If you want to do this in the illegal manner, you would have to, I think everybody has said you stay stealthy. You stay stealthy and hope that you're not detected, and then quickly scoop the cargo up. If you are detected, there are guns that open fire on you, and also the security forces are called in, and of course a bounty is assigned. So, but as long as you don't kill any other ships, then you should be fine. Because the main problem with the crime and punishment is, of course, the notoriety. Now, I'm not going to show what's happened with the crime and punishment. Frontier has said they've looked into it, and there's quite a few things being fixed with a friendly fire. And you can also just hand yourself in and pay your bounty off, but you are transferred to a prison ship. That to me sounds a lot better, especially if you're having to deal with just these horrible friendly fire incidents. However, you can actually lose notoriety now just by waiting in a station. So if you leave your, if you get to notoriety of 10, then it's a case of basically leave your computer on overnight. But still, that does take the edge off where, say for instance, a pirate, a player pirate has been just, actually put it, seal clubbing. They've got to basically stay out the game for 10 hours before coming back and resuming. So that's 10 hours where one seal clubber is no longer involved in the game. And to me, that seems to work. The other major fix that the community was crying out for was a whole load of reduction of materials required for the Guardian ruins, which I think is great, because having talked to people who have done it, the amount of time you'd have to put in for doing that is unbelievable. I must admit though, when you do look at the detail of these megaships on fire, it does run shivers up and down your spine. I would advise at least you come out and do this at least once. It's easy money. I will say that. It's easy money, and you can get one of these done quite quickly. There's a couple of million in the bank for about half an hour's work, which isn't too bad. Still, it's not as good as some of the 30 or 40 million round trips that you can do these days with passenger missions, which I must admit I'm going to have to do at some point just to get my funds back up. So I think that's about it for here, so we're going to have to go off. Now what I thought of doing was trying to see how this thing handles against thargoids. Now at the moment I have two medium. Oh, hang on, I've got the loadout wrong. It's got 3 major level 3 hardpoints and 2 medium hardpoints, because I have 2 medium beam lasers and a large beam laser, and I also have 2 turreted class 3 AX cannon. And so when I go and take on some Thargoid scouts, hopefully we'll see how this thing handles. As you can see, plenty of fighters. I do have an active crew, so I must admit I was gutted the other week, because when I lost my first Krait, I had a crew member on board who basically had managed to get from harmless all the way up to expert, and she was getting good. But of course, when you lose your ship, you will lose any crewmen who are active at the time. So, and yeah, it is a bit of a kicker, especially when you were attacked from behind without any suspect. You basically outganked because the guy was bored. So we're now looking around for non-human signal sources, threat level 4. That normally involves Thargoid scouts. I do know that all the threat levels in 3.1 have now been completely rejigged. Before, it used to be threat level 1 to 4 for humans, and you would have to deal with some serious consequences at threat level 4. I went to a threat level 5 the other day, and all I found was a mostly harmless fer-de-lance. Fer-de-lance is obviously a good ship, but a mostly harmless one. Yeah, so it does seem that they've gone and rejiggled the threat levels quite a lot, and we'll just have to see how that all pans out. Don't think we'll take that one. Other improvements? Well, there's a lot of minor fixes to some of the ships. Unfortunately, the Asp Explorer hasn't got a jump boost, which I think it should do, because at the moment it's number 3 behind the Anaconda and the Diamondback Explorer, and I think it should be still back top of the level, but I guess that's me. There's still no new ship kits for the Clipper, which is a shame, because I really would like something like that, because they've got ship kits for the Cutter, but I guess it all depends on how many players actually own them. If you don't have many people flying Clippers, they probably won't do a ship kit for it, which is a bit of a shame, because I really like that ship. So yeah, 3.1 as well as the follow-up 3.2 are quite small updates. I do know that the Canon group have now discovered quite a lot of new surface installations. Oh, hello. Which are to do with the plot. Again, I would recommend finding them out and visiting them yourself instead of going on YouTube, because normally there are credit bonuses and materials to be gathered, and they are very atmospheric. Now, we have one federal, is it a federal gunship? Yes, federal gunship on my side here. I suppose I better launch my fighter. As you can see, I've got my 3 beam lasers and 2 AX cannons out at the ready. Right, that is the Thargoid scouts coming in. They seem to jump in using a different method. Super Cruise is not what they use, and we don't know what it is. Now, I reckon that he'll probably be able to get one, but I wonder if I can get the other 3. Oh, there we go. And as you can see, that's taken out quite. See, I don't know which is more effective against the scout, the heavy beam lasers or the AX cannons. There we go, another one. No special ones I've noticed so far, just straightforward marauders. What was that got hit? That looked like it got hit by some kind of guardian weapon. Boom. Target destroyed. Of course, those clouds you see expanding there. Ah, damn it, they are caustic damage. So what you do in this case is basically you have decon limpets that are available, and what you do is you make sure your target reticle is clear or pointing at a planet, and that means that the limpet will target you, as you can see. The limpet also, there you go, it removes the caustic substance and also continues to repair your hull. So there we are. I'm back to 100%, even though I took one. Now what I'm trying to do is use my collector limpets to collect up the Thargoid materials, but I don't think I'm having much luck here. Oh, that's because it's too far away. really need to do some more practice with limpets. I mean, it took me absolutely ages to work out how to use one of those research limpets against a basilisk or any of the big thargoid interceptors. One of the things that I do think that Frontier missed a trick with this one was not having the thargoid massacre missions in the system of Deciate right at the very beginning, or whenever they're actually attacking a system, because, as is well known, is that Thargoid scouts, they only pay out 10,000 credits per go. And of course, if they don't pay out that much, you're losing money, or you're losing money as you're fighting them. Now, I'm not asking for a gold rush to say, right, okay, make us tons of money out of shooting down Thargoids. But I would say at least let us make enough money to break even. I don't fancy putting my ships on the line to try and keep back the Thargoid menace. But I need to keep the costs. I need to cover the costs, basically. As you can see, I'm not having much luck with collecting limpets. Maybe I might have more luck with this one. Believe it or not, it worked. So, in conclusion, what do I think to 3.1 already? Well, it is a small update. I do know that. But for what's in there, it's got fixes for a lot of the issues that were highlighted with 3.0, which I think is good. I think it's resolved some of the major faults of the crime and punishment system that came on. The Guardian stuff I've still to do. It's one of the things on the to-do list, and I'll be doing one of those on a top shift quite soon, as well as going around the new bases which have been put around various systems. However, the main...
Delay Romeo Alpha, this is Federal Flight Control. Request docking if you wish to land.
The main draw for 3.1 so far is definitely this ship, the Krait. And I think it's going to replace the Challenger and my Chieftain, definitely. I haven't bought the other ship that came out, the Challenger, because it's a Chieftain variant, but I am tempted just to sell the Chieftain full stop and just concentrate on getting this ship fully engineered up to being a complete badass smuggler's vessel. It's definitely been the hit of 3.1, and I think everybody else, as you've probably seen in hundreds and hundreds of other videos, have reacted very positively about this. So overall, 3.1, an improvement. I knew it's going to be a small improvement, but 3.2 will also be a small improvement, if you like, a small update. But the big one, 3.3, will be coming later in the year, and that's got a whole load of mining and exploration issues. And as you can see there, not much in the way of combat bonds, but a reasonable amount of escape capsules, which was worth it. So, to end, thank you for joining me for this Top Shift. If you like what I do, please do a like and subscribe down below. And hopefully, medical problems notwithstanding, I will be back soon. Thank you and good night.